All right, first team. First team comes from. Let me just get the names up here. FPL stream slideshow. First team comes from Alex Cousins. Thank you very much for sending your team in. So how this works for those that are here for the first time, we just say whether we like the team or whether we don't. He's got a few transfers that he's looking to do as well. So what do we think of the team first off, lads? So he says, most likely wildcard team, but I still don't trust Chelsea's defence enough, and going without another City attacker worries me. Thinking of Salah to Mane and Connolly to Josh King, whilst downgrading in defence, e.g. Soy. So what do we think? What we got? Jimmy's got a yeah. Oblivious Gaming's got a yeah. I like the team a lot. McGinn, great. Madison, great. Mount, great. De Bruyne is coming back. Aubameyang, good. Abraham, good. Connolly's obviously just someone who you got sitting there, so that's absolutely fine. If you had did you have Connolly for that game week? He was fucking phenomenal. He's probably sitting on your bench, right? That would be tough to take, having someone have their best game ever. To be fair, I would probably leave Connolly in, because there's no way that he wouldn't play again. Do you know what I mean? Wait, am I talking about the right Connolly? Who's the Connolly that scored 2 goals? Was it him? Am I talking shit? Is there 2 Connollys? Now I'm doubting myself. Chelsea backline worries me though. Yeah, so I had a choice to make this game week to bring in Tomori and triple up on Chelsea and bring the fear of Zuma-like own goals, which fucking nearly happened, by the way, and I would have lost my absolute shit if that went down after bringing Tomori, or trying to take a punt elsewhere. And I went for Cresswell, and I feel like if that penalty didn't go in, he would have got a clean sheet, because he came off injured, and then they scored from his side. Zabaleta kind of fucked up a little bit on the play leading up to the goal. So yeah, I feel like Cresswell was an okay shout, but I'm really glad I didn't bring in Tomori. As if there would be 2 Connollys. Yeah, so I'm right? This is the correct. It's the correct Connolly. So I actually would probably keep him and see where it goes, because his price is going to go up. I think, you don't score a brace against Spurs and then not get everyone looking at you. Like, he's a perfect Greenwood replacement, or a downgrade to upgrade for someone in midfield. So you'll probably be seeing a bit of a rise from him, and I would probably keep him just to see where he goes. I actually really like the fact that you've got him in your team. But Alex said that he was thinking of downgrading to Mane and Connolly up to Josh King. I don't like Josh King. He's playing wide. He's reliant on penalties. He's done okay. He's kind of ticked, but I would prefer Callum Wilson, and you can't really get to him. I think you've spent a lot. You've got Aubameyang. You've got Abraham. It'd be fine to have a punt on Connolly just now. You could probably do better with the money. But who? See, your money's kind of spread, actually, isn't it? We were all worried about West Ham's defense, because of their keeper, but it wasn't really any keeper problems with their goals that they scored. So I don't mind Fredericks, but I would definitely prefer. You know what? You could totally double up. You've got Pereira already. You could totally get Soy and just see how it goes. Because although, yes, we're doubling up in the defense, both of them will score points. So I don't mind that. Salah downgrade to Mane, I'm a fan of. Barnes over King? No. King over Barnes, surely. Barnes has just been... They just doesn't get the service. If we look at the... I'll show you guys this, because I was looking at it to see what the fuck was going on. In terms of XG, the worst XG, Newcastle, Leicester, funnily enough, but that's based on fixtures probably. They've had a really hard run. Crystal Palace we know of, Sheffield United we know of, and then there's Burnley, right, who've scored 11 goals, but they're still the 4th worst XG. Right behind Tottenham, hilariously. But yeah, so Burnley haven't actually been doing well in attack. 5th best, sorry, Newcastle's there. 5th best. Whereas Bournemouth are mid-table. So I think King. not just based on stats. Like they've been looking poor as well. Burnley up front. I think the train is over for Burnley, unfortunately. Cheers, Burns. See, the thing with this team is that it's really difficult because you have such a spread amount of money. If you downgraded to Mane, you've got 0.7, so that's 1.1 million. There's not really much you can do with McGinn. There's no one in that price bracket that I would want that you don't have. So Connolly to someone like King is a viable kind of go, but you could also do De Bruyne up if you wanted, although I wouldn't do that actually. I'm just trying to look and see what options you have. There isn't really anyone that you would do. I don't like putting money in defense, right? And you already have 2 premiums. You could change your keeper. You could potentially go double Liverpool if you wanted to, and jump up to a really, really cheap Alisson who's coming back against a woeful West Ham or Man United game. I wouldn't mind that. Good team, but really balanced across. Yeah, there's nothing really you can do with the money. Salah downgrade gives you King. I don't think that's worth downgrading Salah. Do you know what I mean? But he's got his wild card active, so it's not like he could change it up. He could take Pereira out, put Soy in, take Salah down to Mane, and then he could maybe move McGinn to someone like, 8 million worth. Let me just have a look to see what my watch list is looking like for that kind of thing. Midfield price 8 million, 9 million-ish. Eriksen no, Mahrez no, Pogba no. But see, there's not really many people in that bracket. You would need to downgrade a lot more. I think you're missing Trent and Alexander-Arnold. I think maybe that's what you could do. You could downgrade Salah to Mane, and you could upgrade Fredericks to Trent. Or try and move some players about. Maybe get Pereira to Trent or something. Because he is one to watch. He's just so good. Being 1-0 up against a good defensive team and having 3 bonus points is something worth savoring. It's something worth fucking grabbing with both hands. So I would definitely think about doing that. Stanner says McGinn fixtures turning a bit nasty after the next game, depending on whether City is still a bad fixture for attack. Yeah, so I definitely agree. If we look at the fixture runs again, really quickly, for the next, let me see where they are. Look, there's Aston Villa right at the bottom. So for the next 6 game weeks we can look at, because it's about to refresh. The next 6 game weeks they've got, let me just slowly back it up. Aston Villa's got Brighton, then Man City, then Liverpool, then Wolves, then Newcastle, then Man United. That's iffy. That's very iffy. So in the fact you're going to be playing De Bruyne, Mane, Maddison, and Mount every game week, McGinn's kind of first on your bench. So you don't really need to spend that much. So to summarize, I wouldn't be opposed to downgrade to Mane and then upgrade Fredericks to Trent Alexander-Arnold and downgrade McGinn to whatever means that you could afford that move. Awesome. Happy with that. I think this guy's lost too much team value. Yeah, potentially. I'm not going to add all that shit up. Thank you very much, Alex, for sending your team in. Appreciate it, buddy. Right, let's get this shit going. I think I spent too much time on that. Next team came from Josh. Thank you very much for sending your team in, buddy. And what do we think of this one? We got Roberto. So he's went for that cheap defender. Otamendi tomorrow, Soyuncu. So no Liverpool defense. Sterling, Mane, Mount, De Bruyne, Aubameyang, Pukki, Abraham. Now, no Liverpool defense is a disaster if they do keep a clean sheet, but a sword if they don't. Like that is a differential in itself, not having any. And I don't mind that as your punt. You also have a punt on Roberto, but I've got Cresswell. Lots of people have Fredericks, etc. Diop's a popular one, so I mean it's not the worst of the world. I'd actually prefer Patricio, but whatever. I mean Roberto's really cheap. You've got Soy, that's fine. You've got Mount and Abraham, Aubameyang, everyone wants. You've got Sterling, who I said keep for De Bruyne, definitely someone who's going to be coming back. You've got Reed sitting there, so maybe kind of downgrading someone. You could downgrade Pukki and try and bring. The problem is your bench is lacking, right? If De Bruyne doesn't come back, you're bringing Lundstrom on, and Ota and Pookie is a potential fire. Yeah, I totally agree, Oblivious. The fires here are Otamendi, who's kind of lost his way a bit. I think Tamori, I mean, everyone jumped on him, and that's fine. He's super cheap, so it's not a bad deal. But I wouldn't start him, which is an issue. I mean, yeah, against Newcastle, fucking absolutely, but there's not many times I would start him. I just think your bench is the biggest fire. Pookie downgrade to Connolly, upgrade Reed to fucking, I don't know, Traore or someone. Begin if you can afford it. Or El Nani, sorry, to someone who would play. And then leave Reed on the bench and kind of, I wouldn't take a hit for this team basically. But your team's banging, man. It's gonna do well. You've got 3 players against Newcastle is a really good shout. Aubameyang's gonna find himself with a difficult game, but he might be able to perform if they've got a few players back. De Bruyne is coming back, so Sterling should be okay. Aye, and you've got Mane, who everyone wants. So I would totally keep that game, that team. There's not much changes. Actually, see to be honest, if it's an option, you might hold. If you've only got one transfer, I would hold. There's not much you need to do with this team. Not much you need to do. I would get 2 free transfers and then kind of downgrade Otamendi, maybe upgrade Reed or something. Just get 2 players that play back there. Definitely. All right. Thanks very much for sending your team, buddy. Appreciate it. Next team is from Hugo Mundo. I think I pronounced that right. Big follow stream. Thank you very much, buddy. If you're in the stream just now, always very nice on Twitter. Thank you for sending your team in. No free transfer, 2.3 million in the bank. Did Salah and Greenwood to Mount and Vardy last night. Wildcard still available. So this is a team post game week 8. Hold is probably the best for one more week to avoid hits, says Oblivious from the last team. Yeah, I agree. Right, let's do the speed round because you've already done. So you've got 2.3 million in the bank. Oblivious says nay, he doesn't like the team. Pepe, yeah, big. So let me count how many fires he's got. Actually, to be honest though, the bench is probably the reason why he's got Rico in. He's got Lundstrom, he's got Fredericks, he's got Cantwell, so that bench is really good. Allaire has got decent fixtures, Vardy's great. King, captain, is a punt, but that's fine. Sterling, De Bruyne, it's really Pepe, isn't it? I actually don't mind this team so much, but no Liverpool attackers, and the worst Liverpool defender. Not a big fan. 2.3 million in the bank. I would do Pepe to Mane very, very quickly. Salah and Greenwood to Mount and Vardy's decent fixtures. If you didn't take a hit for that, then I would probably take a hit to get Pepe out and to get Mane in. Almost definitely. Pepe is just shite. He's great, like just doing his little dribbles, but it doesn't get you anywhere, right? It doesn't get you anywhere at all. I think the best thing to do is to just let other people worry about if he scores. Because let's look at his. I'm gonna double check his actual percentage owned. It's nothing. It's probably nothing. Arsenal, you are very top. 3.4% owned. He is a huge differential. He has got 3 attacking returns in 559 minutes against Bournemouth, Aston Villa, and Tottenham. Now he plays, and that Tottenham one was kind of a FPL assist as opposed to a real assist. Pepe to Maddison and King to Wilson. Oh man, now you're fucking talking. King to Wilson, Pepe to Maddison. He's got Vardy. Much as Pepe just now. Has he got enough for Mane? Actually, he doesn't have enough. I think he's 0.1 out. 9.3 plus 2.3 is 11.6. He's fucking missed Mane. Oh, that sucks. He's just less. In that case, I would do the Maddison thing. Maddison for Pepe, upgrade King to Callum Wilson. That's a decent shout. Or even Allaire to Callum Wilson, double up on those guys. I mean, you're pretty much sitting pretty with the rest of your assets. I like that. Oblivious Gaming, you've got it. Fucking yes. Decent. I like that. I like that. Madison in and move King on. Like we said, we didn't like it. Big yikes. Yeah, no, I know. Oh, man, one priced out last night. Ah, oh, that sucks. Pepe to Madison and Allaire to Firmino. Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah, if you can't get if you can't get things, yeah, you've got options, right? So we kind of want Liverpool should have scored more. Liverpool should be scoring more. They're actually underperforming in their XG. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. In the last couple of game weeks, they're underperforming by 2 goals. So in 3 games, 2 goals underperforming. Bam. So in that respect, I kind of want people to not get rid of their Liverpool assets. Salah's a lot of money. That's absolutely fair enough. That's fine. But Firmino's going to tick. Mane's going to do well. I would want Mane over Firmino just now, but Firmino's a good shout. I think I'd probably, if you can, do King to Firmino and Pepe down to Madison. I think you could probably afford that, and I prefer that. Now I know you kind of want to target, the Norwich thing, and Firmino doesn't have the best of games. You know, it's Man United, but you know they're going to show up against Liverpool. I think you could probably space that out, right? So Pepe to Madison. If you didn't take a hit, if you did, just leave it. That's fine. But if you've still got thing, I wouldn't mind taking a hit to get Pepe out for Madison, and then bringing in Firmino for King or Allaire, game week 10. Thanks for sending your team. This one's super interesting, especially with that much money in the bank. It's always difficult to rate a team when they have so much to spend. If you have any left over, which you might do depending on who you bring in, get Trent Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk's doing fucking nothing. They're not scoring corners. Matip seems to be taking the corners from Van Dijk. Van Dijk's a fun one for us non-owners because he did well, scored a goal in the very first game week. So everyone who's held him are hoping for those returns, you know? So yeah. Thanks for sending your team, dude. Right, next one. What do we think of this? This comes from Liam, long-time watcher of the stream. Although he does go to bed a little bit early these days, so I wonder if he's still here. Hi Liam, if you're not here and you're watching on YouTube, hello, how's it going? Thanks for sending your team in, dude. He said he's pretty happy with his team. The only transfer I want to do is Vardy for Firmino, but want to see about Kevin De Bruyne first. That's fair enough to me. Our teams are almost identical, except you have McGinn and I have Cantwell. And you've got Tomori and I've got Cresswell, so we're doing well. Ah, he's here. He's in the stream. How's it going, my man? You were cheating on me with that, with Andy, weren't you? I know it. I know you hang out over there. So yeah, I think you're right in saying that you want to wait and see about De Bruyne. You might as well just keep your transfer. Nothing's a definite. Son's there. I think you need to worry about Son a little bit. Like I said, I'm kind of getting rid of him. You could totally leave him in for Watford. Watford at home is not a bad thing to see if you absolutely have to. But I would prefer Madison over Son. I would prefer Yarmolenko over Son. I would prefer you to downgrade Firmino to fucking Callum Wilson and upgrade Son to Mane. I actually think I would prefer that to what you suggested. But you're first and foremost correct. Let's wait until, next week and we'll see where everything lies. Definitely. And we can look at your team next week, or I can chat to you on Twitter and we can find that out. But yeah, I think Son's a big fire. Oblivious, you're totally right. But the team is banging. Abraham, Mount, Tomori, Soy, Alexander-Arnold. You've got all the big picks. By the way, if anyone has a free transfer, taking Pope away and getting someone else, I think Burnley have got some bad. I've seen Pope in so many teams because everyone's wildcarded him in, and myself included, but I don't know if I want to keep him forever. The fixtures aren't that great. I don't know. I kind of regret it, even though he kept a clean sheet. I'm thinking about it, lads. I'm thinking about it. Thanks, Liam, for sending your team. Last team. We're actually on time this week. I'm going to try and finish at 10 o'clock. Look at me go. I'm a professional streamer. setting deadlines and keeping to them. This comes from James the Lol Panda. The Lol Panda. Who is here, I'm sure, but under a pseudonym that I've forgotten. Are you here, my man? The Lol Panda. Is that you, Oblivious? Am I right? I think it's you. It is. Yes. Fucking knew it. Thank you very much for sending your team in, buddy. I appreciate it loads. Having a shocking time, but finally got my first green arrow with 43 points. Decent week, buddy. My thoughts at the moment are Sterling and Greenwood to Madison and Auba, but will potentially hold till after the international break. Thought about Vardy until I saw Brian Krillin's tweet. RE Vardy, Cantwell versus Pookie Madison. I mean, Ben Krillin's tweet was justified, but I think like Pookie, I would rather have Madison than Cantwell. But I would rather have Vardy than Pookie, and I'd rather have both. And I think, like, stats based, you can't compare them, because despite how good Leicester are doing, I can't understate how shit their fixtures were. Like, let's look at those fixtures for anyone who has forgotten just how poor they were. Who have I got from Leicester? There we go. Wolves at home, Chelsea away. Those are two difficult fixtures. Because Wolves had rest, they hadn't started their European campaign, has a difficult two fixtures. Sheffield United, we now know, is a difficult fixture. Now, they beat Bournemouth, and that's fair enough. Man United, Tottenham, Newcastle, of course, a good fixture for them. They did really well. But Liverpool, a hard fixture. They have had nowhere near as easy a time as some other players. So I think it's really difficult to judge their actual stats. Difficult. Pieters was so unlucky, injured after 55 minutes, lost clean sheet points. Yeah. Oh, man, it was so fucking bad. And I was looking at him for ages, and a lot of people doubled up hoping him or went for him over other players. I feel bad for you guys. Definitely feel bad. As a non-owner, it's always nice to see people get injured that other people have. Not gonna lie. It's always good for other people to have fires. So yeah, 2 free transfers here. Wildcard's already been played. Money in the Bank, 2.4 million. Oblivious Gaming, you have a lot of things you can do here. Mane for Salah, Pookie for Vardy, Cantwell for Madison. I wouldn't even mind doing a mini wildcard here and getting Salah out, getting Cantwell out, and getting Pookie out. You can totally afford, based on your defense and how many players that you've got on the bench. I mean, Peters, will need to see what he's doing, because you might need to change him to Tamori or someone, right? Bolly is actually a really good shout for the upcoming fixtures. So if you could afford Cantwell to Madison and Salah to Mane and still have enough for the 0.3 million to go Bolly, you could play Bolly, Alexander-Arnold, Soyuncu, have 2 players on the bench, get Madison, you've still got Pookie, and you could maybe even move him over. Planning to keep Salah one more week before changing to Mane, then that's fine. You've got 2 free transfers. I would probably set up the can you afford Cantwell to Madison or Pookie to Vardy? Whatever one you prefer, I would do that. Pookie to Vardy, Cantwell to Madison. The only thing is Cantwell's such a really, really, really good asset on the bench, because he plays 90 minutes. There's not many players that are 4.8 million that, or however much you got him in for, that play every single game, who have attacking threat. He's still one of the best players for under 5 million. So I don't like getting rid of him. Whereas Pookie, like I keep saying all stream, is taking away from that like coveted third striker position. You've already got Abraham, you've got Greenwood, which means you actually only have 2. And I don't know if I would waste it on Pookie, who's been absolutely shite, is dropping in value, and there's better assets just now. Pookie to Callum Wilson, Cantwell to Mount, Cantwell to Madison. If you can afford that by downgrading Salah to Mane, I like that. If Peters is okay, you don't even need to really worry about Peters right now, because your bench is so good. Cantwell, Kelly, Rico, benched players, that's fucking awesome. Greenwood, you've even got him on the bench. I really want Auba and Sterling out, lol. Looks like I might need to take a hit this week. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. I think I'd probably prefer Salah out to Sterling. I think we're going to see a huge surgence when Kevin De Bruyne comes back. I don't think you need to worry about Sterling too much. But like you said, I think holding Sterling and Salah for one more game week to really make sure is not a big deal. But you need to select Maddison or Vardy and then stick with one of them. So whatever one you prefer, you can do that. And then we'll see if Peters needs replacing. But I like Bolly. I definitely do. If Tierney's like playing, I kind of like him a little bit. So yeah, we'll see next week. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it next week. But yeah, that's my rate my teams. We're 1 hour and 30 minutes almost exactly since I started streaming. Not since I did the nearly streaming soon, but we are finally hitting the target time. I'm so happy with myself. I'm so proud. I actually wanted to try and make it a little bit shorter this week, but we got a lot of teams to go through. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this stream. I really do appreciate it. Coming over and watch me talk shite for an hour and a half. I know it's not easy, especially, international break. We don't need to think about this stuff. The price kind of changed last night. They might change a bit tonight, but they're not going to do anything. So take a break, have a relaxing time. The podcast, the Fantasy Weekly, is coming out on Wednesday, but it's more of a looking back as opposed to looking forward. So it might be a good time to listen and then reflect on things. Maybe go back and have a look at how well you've been doing, change your strategy, all that good stuff. But yeah, have a great fucking international break. I'm not going to be streaming on Thursday. I decided to take that day off, so there's not going to be any FPL and chill. But next Thursday, we have a huge guest. I'm so excited. If you can guess it right now in the next 2 seconds, I'll tell you who it is. 1, 2. I'll let the stream catch up. It's not Andy. I knew you were going to guess that. It's not. Friend of the show. It's not him. But yeah, no, it is. I'm so excited because I listen to the podcast all the time. So yeah, FPL and Chill comes back, and I'll see you guys Monday. I'll do the Monday after next week as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again. Bye.